Yo, let's dive into something that's still got the internet buzzing, still sparking debates, and still making headlines. Serena Williams Super Bowl halftime show appearance with Kendrick Lamar and that Crip Walk. Seriously, did Serena Williams just step onto the biggest stage in the world, and in doing so, disrespect the memory of her own deceased sister? When a global icon, a tennis legend, unexpectedly joined Kendrick Lamar, a lyrical titan himself, at the Super Bowl, the sheer surprise was enough to break the internet. And I mean nobody had that on their 2025 bingo card. But the shock wasn't just about her showing up, it was about how she showed up, what she did, and the explosive aftermath that followed. Immediately after those first Crip Walk steps hit the screen, social media erupted. It wasn't just excitement, it was a firestorm of opinions, accusations, and raw emotion. And leading the charge? Drake's fan base, unleashing a torrent of criticism, dragging Serena through the digital mud, and hitting below the belt by resurrecting the most agonizing chapter of Serena's life, the brutal death of her sister, Yetunde Price. Yetunde's passing wasn't just a loss, it was a seismic event that shattered the Williams family, leaving scars that time can never fully erase. And the circumstances? They were, and remain, utterly chilling, casting a long, dark shadow over Serena's recent Super Bowl spotlight. This isn't just celebrity drama. This is a story layered with fame, feuds, family tragedy, and the explosive power of public perception. This Super Bowl Sunday wasn't just about touchdowns and tackles, it was about lyrical takedowns and cultural earthquakes. For Drake, Super Bowl Sunday, February 9th, 2025, will forever be etched as the day Kendrick Lamar didn't just perform, he conducted a public career autopsy. Kendrick took that colossal Super Bowl stage and transformed it into a battleground, armed with his lyrical arsenal and the undisputed diss track of the decade. Not like us? This wasn't just a performance, it was a statement, a declaration, a cultural reset button slammed down in front of a global audience of millions. Not Like Us wasn't merely a song, it was a phenomenon, a sonic Molotov cocktail thrown directly into the heart of the Drake-Kendrick feud, a rivalry that had been simmering for years, threatening to boil over at any moment. The track itself is dense with layers of meaning, accusations, and thinly veiled insults, dissecting Drake's persona and challenging his authenticity in the rap game. The crowd that day? Forget electric. They were nuclear. You could feel the energy radiating through the screen, a palpable wave of collective catharsis as Kendrick unleashed his lyrical fury. This wasn't just background noise. The crowd became part of the performance, their voices amplifying every punchline, every accusation, every syllable of disrespect aimed at Drake. It was a moment of collective release, a public coronation of Kendrick as the victor in this long-standing rap war. But the true masterstroke, the moment that solidified this performance as legendary, Kendrick's pettiness amplified to an art form. Remember that iconic moment when Kendrick locked eyes with the camera, a ghost of a smile playing on his lips as he spat that line. "Say, Drake, I hear you like 'em young. You better not ever go to Cell Block 1. The sheer audacity, the calculated precision of that moment was breathtaking. It was a direct shot, a public humiliation, a lyrical checkmate delivered with ice-cold composure. And then, as if Kendrick's lyrical execution wasn't enough, he brought out the ultimate weapon, Serena Williams. Her entrance wasn't just a cameo, it was a strategic deployment. And what did she do? She didn't sing, she didn't rap, she Crip walked right there, center stage, on Drake's metaphorical career grave. It was a visual exclamation point to Kendrick's verbal assault, a dance of dominance, a performance of pure, unadulterated shade. Was it petty? Undeniably. Was it effective? Absolutely. Was it the most talked about moment of the Super Bowl halftime show? Without a shadow of a doubt. This wasn't just entertainment, it was a cultural spectacle, a carefully orchestrated display of power and influence, leaving no room for doubt about who had won this round. Let's dissect that dance, the move that ignited 1,000 hot takes and launched a million think pieces, the Crip Walk. This isn't just some random TikTok trend, it's a dance with deep, complex, and often controversial roots. Born in the crucible of 1970s Los Angeles, the Crip Walk, originally known as the Sea Walk, emerged from the streets, directly from the Crips gang themselves. It wasn't conceived as entertainment, it was a form of communication, a visual language spoken through intricate footwork and rhythmic steps. In its original context, the Crip Walk was far from playful. It was a deliberate act of defiance, a way for Crips to taunt their rivals, primarily the Bloods, to mark their territory, and to celebrate victories, often after violent confrontations. It was a dance imbued with power, aggression, and a stark reminder of gang affiliation and dominance. Think of it as a non-verbal declaration of war, a dance of disrespect etched onto the very streets they controlled. Over the decades, however, the Crip Walk underwent a fascinating transformation. Like many elements of underground culture, it seeped into the mainstream, shedding some of its original, harsher connotations. Hip-hop artists, always keen to embrace and reinterpret street culture, began to incorporate the Crip Walk into their performances and music videos. Snoop Dogg, arguably the most prominent figure in popularizing the dance, helped to sanitize it, presenting it as a cool, rhythmic move, distancing it from its gangland origins for many mainstream audiences. By the 90s and 2000s, the Crip Walk had become a recognizable hip-hop dance, performed in clubs, at parties, and on stages worldwide, often stripped of its original, darker meaning. For many, especially younger generations, it was simply a cool dance move, divorced from its controversial past. But here's the rub. The history, the origins, the weight of the Crip Walk never fully disappeared. For those who know its roots, for those communities impacted by gang violence, the dance carries a far more loaded meaning. And this is where the controversy surrounding Serena's Super Bowl performance explodes. When Serena, an icon with no known gang affiliations, performs the Crip Walk on a stage seen by billions, the context becomes everything. Was she reclaiming the dance? Was she ignorant of its history? Or most controversially, was she deliberately weaponizing its original meaning, using a dance of gangland disrespect to amplify her message to Drake? The ambiguity, the multiple layers of interpretation, are precisely what fueled the firestorm. People saw what they wanted to see, projected their own understanding of the Crip Walk onto Serena's performance, and the result was a chaotic clash of perspectives, leaving many deeply uncomfortable and questioning her intent. Was it just a dance, or was it something far more complex, and potentially far more damaging? To truly grasp the Serena Crip Walk Super Bowl detonation, we have to rewind and unpack the tangled history between Drake and Serena Williams. Their connection wasn't some fleeting celebrity fling, it was a years-long, on-again saga that played out in the glare of the paparazzi flashbulbs and the relentless scrutiny of the public eye. Dating back to 2012, rumors of a romance swirled around the tennis titan and the rap superstar. They were spotted courtside, at restaurants, even vacationing together, fueling speculation and captivating gossip columns. Their dynamic was intriguing. The queen of the court and the king of the charts, a power couple in the making, or so it seemed. Their relationship, though never officially confirmed with a formal announcement, became an open secret, a whispered about celebrity pairing that fascinated fans and media alike. They were young, successful, and undeniably charismatic, making them tabloid gold. Drake, never one to shy away from blurring the lines between his personal life and his art, subtly wove Serena into his lyrical tapestry. Tracks like Worst Behavior, while not explicitly about her, seemed to hint at the tumultuous nature of their connection, the push and pull of their dynamic. Fans dissected lyrics, searching for clues, trying to decipher the real story behind the celebrity romance, and then, as quickly as it began, the public sightings dwindled, the rumors faded, and Serena eventually found love and marriage with Alexis Ohanian, the tech entrepreneur and Reddit co-founder. Life moved on, or so it appeared. Serena built a family, continued her legendary tennis career, and seemingly closed the chapter on the Drake era. They remained publicly cordial, maintaining a veneer of celebrity civility until he randomly decided to reignite the embers with a lyrical flamethrower. Sharp, while perhaps slightly less incendiary, didn't exactly defend Serena either. He acknowledged the awkwardness of the situation, the potential for misinterpretation, and the undeniable public relations disaster it had become. If I'm married and my wife is going to join trolling her ex, go back to his ass, 'cause clearly you belong with me, Smith continued, doubling down on his controversial stance. The implication was clear. Serena's actions were not just inappropriate, they were indicative of deeper marital problems, a sign that she was somehow still emotionally tethered to her past relationship with Drake. The commentary was brutal, personal, and, for many, deeply offensive, crossing the line from sports analysis into unsolicited and deeply judgmental relationship advice delivered on a national platform. Alexis Ohanian, however, wasn't about to stand idly by and watch his wife be publicly dissected and denigrated. He once again stepped into the digital arena, not with anger or aggression, but with a measured, thoughtful, and powerfully supportive response. He took to social media to defend Serena, not just against Smith's personal attacks, but against the broader wave of criticism she was facing. Some of y'all have no idea how criticized Serena was for this same dance at Wilburton 13 years ago, and it shows, he wrote, highlighting the hypocrisy and the selective outrage. His defense wasn't just about shutting down critics, it was about providing context, reminding the public of Serena's resilience in the face of past criticism and asserting his unwavering support for his wife. He framed the controversy not as a sign of weakness or obsession, but as a testament to Serena's strength, her refusal to be silenced, and her continued ability to defy expectations and challenge norms. Serena herself, in the face of this media storm, seemed remarkably unfazed. She posted a video of herself dancing, celebrating her performance, seemingly impervious to the backlash. Was it genuine defiance? Was it a carefully constructed public persona? Or was it simply Serena Williams being Serena Williams, unapologetically herself, regardless of the noise around her? The question, like so much else in this saga, remained open to interpretation, adding another layer of complexity to the already tangled web of controversy. But one thing was clear, the Super Bowl Crip Walk had become more than just a dance move. It was a cultural Rorschach test, revealing as much about the viewers as it did about Serena Williams herself. So, after all the smoke clears, after the social media battles subside, and after the talk show debates fade into the background, we are left with a central, lingering question. What was Serena's Super Bowl Crip Walk, really? Was it a calculated and justified clapback? A multi-layered message directed at Drake, at her past critics? A defiant reclaiming of her narrative on the grandest stage imaginable? Or was it something far more problematic, far more insensitive? Was it, as many accused, deeply disrespectful to the memory of Yetund? A painful and unnecessary reopening of old wounds? A tone-deaf glorification of gang violence in the face of personal tragedy?